Imagine this. Flashing lights, your heart rate spikes. The window comes down, and the officer asks a question that sounds harmless, but isn't. One answer protects you. One answer can ruin your life, and almost nobody is taught the difference. Here's the uncomfortable truth. In the United States, perfectly legal gun owners get arrested every single day. Not because they broke the law, but because they spoke at the wrong moment. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to avoid becoming one of them. Because this isn't about being anti-police. It's about understanding firearm laws in the USA before stress makes the decision for you. Let me pull you into a real scenario. You're driving home, calm, law-abiding. Your firearm is legal. Your paperwork is fine. Then red and blue lights flood your mirrors. You're pulled over for something minor. A tail light, speeding. Nothing serious. The officer leans in and asks, "Do you have any weapons in the vehicle?" Your brain freezes. You want to do the right thing. You want to sound responsible, cooperative, honest. So your mouth opens. And this is where everything starts to fall apart. Because most people believe one dangerous myth. If I'm honest, I'll be fine. That myth has destroyed more lives than bad intentions ever could. Here's why. Police questions are not casual conversation. They are information-gathering tools. Every word you say becomes a thread, and those threads can be pulled later in ways you never imagined. You say too much, you clarify, you explain, and suddenly what felt like transparency becomes contradiction. Maybe you describe where the firearm is stored, but use the wrong wording under state law. Maybe you say it's unloaded, but your state defines loaded differently. Maybe you mention a permit and forget it expired last month. None of that makes you a criminal by intention. But the law doesn't care about intention. It cares about statements. This is why attorneys cringe when they hear traffic stop audio. Because the damage usually happens before handcuffs ever appear. And here's the scariest part. In most states, firearm laws in the USA do not require you to volunteer that information at all. Yet people talk anyway, out of fear, out of habit, out of pressure, and pressure is exactly what that moment is designed to create. Pause right here, because what I'm about to explain next is the legal trap nobody warns you about. A Supreme Court case from decades ago quietly controls what happens the second you answer that question. And once you understand it, you'll realize why 5 simple words matter more than anything else you could say. In the next part, I'm going to break down why answering yes instantly changes the power dynamic, and how one innocent reply can legally justify searches, detentions, and escalation. Most people never see it coming. The moment you say yes, the rules change. Not emotionally, legally. And almost no one explains how. Here's the hidden mechanism at work inside firearm laws in the USA. And once you see it, you'll understand why silence can be safer than honesty. When an officer asks, "Do you have any weapons?" they're not asking out of curiosity. They're assessing risk. There's a legal standard that governs this moment, born from a Supreme Court decision that most gun owners have never read, but live with every day. It's called reasonable suspicion. And here's the trap. The law says an officer may temporarily detain and even pat down a person if they reasonably believe that person is armed and dangerous. 2 words, not one. Armed does not automatically mean dangerous. But the second you say, "Yes, I have a firearm," you've already satisfied half of the equation. For them. Now the officer doesn't have to guess whether you're armed. You confirmed it. And from that moment on, your tone, your movement, your wording, your breathing, everything is interpreted through a new lens. Did you hesitate? Did you move your hands while talking? Did your voice shake just a little? None of that means you're dangerous, but the standard isn't certainty, it's reasonable belief. And reasonable is subjective. That's why 2 identical traffic stops can end completely differently. One driver goes home, another ends up on the pavement. Let me give you a real-world example. A legally armed citizen in a non-duty to inform state gets stopped. Officer asks the question. Driver answers honestly. Backup is called for safety. The firearm is removed. During the process, the officer later claims the driver made a furtive movement. That phrase alone, furtive movement, has justified thousands of escalations across the country. Was the driver resisting? No. Was anything illegal found? No. But the encounter spiraled anyway. Why? Because once you start talking, you lose control of how your words are interpreted. This is the part nobody likes to hear. Police reports are written after the encounter. From memory, from perception, from the officer's point of view. Your words don't live in your mouth anymore. They live on paper. And paper always wins. Now let's talk about duty to inform, because this is where confusion gets people hurt. Some states do legally require disclosure. Others absolutely do not. But most people don't know which one they're in, so they assume. And assumptions are expensive. Even in duty to inform states, the law rarely requires explanation. It requires notification, not narration. The problem is, people don't notify. They confess. They ramble. They justify. They overshare. And every extra word becomes another variable, another opportunity for misunderstanding. So what's the alternative? What's the response that keeps you lawful and protected? In the next part, I'm going to reveal the exact 5-word response lawyers teach their own families and explain why it's not confrontational, not suspicious, and not dangerous. It's calm, it's legal, and it stops the spiral before it starts. Most gun owners hear it once and never forget it. Here it is, the moment you've been waiting for. The 5 words that protect you in a traffic stop, without lying, without escalating, without risk. Are you ready? Here they are. I don't answer questions. That's it. 5 simple words. Clear, respectful, powerful. Now, before you panic and think it sounds rude, hear me out. You are not being aggressive. You are not refusing cooperation. You are exercising your constitutional rights. The Fifth Amendment doesn't vanish because there's a firearm in the car. By saying these 5 words, you achieve 3 critical things. You don't lie. If you said no when you actually had a firearm, that's a crime. If you said yes and over-explained, you risk contradiction or misstatement. 5 words equals 0 lies, 0 mistakes. You protect yourself from self-incrimination. Every word you utter can become evidence. Every story, clarification, or justification opens a legal door. Saying nothing closes that door. You stay safe. The officer still has authority. They can still ask questions, pat you down, or investigate. But by not volunteering unnecessary information, you minimize risk and maintain control of the interaction. Here's what happens next. Keep your hands visible, usually at 10 and 2. Stay calm. Breathe. Do not fidget. Repeat, if necessary. I don't answer questions. The officer may try psychological pressure. Are you refusing to cooperate? That's normal. It's designed to make you doubt yourself. Do not fall for it. Your rights are not negotiable, but your tone is. Respectful, calm, and firm keeps everyone safe. And here's the kicker. States vary. Some have duty to inform laws. Even in those states, the way you communicate matters. Simply stating your rights calmly is legally defensible. It's about precision, not attitude. Most gun owners never hear this strategy. They improvise, they panic, they overshare. By the end of this video, you know the truth. Knowing when to speak and when to stay silent could save your freedom, your finances, and your peace of mind. So here's your takeaway. Memorize the 5 words. Stay calm. Hands visible. Respectful tone. Do not elaborate. Every gun owner should carry this knowledge like a second firearm, invisible, silent, but crucial. Because the difference between walking away or being handcuffed could be, literally, 5 words. Now, go back, rewatch Part 1 and Part 2. Let it sink in. This is more than strategy. It's survival in a legal landscape that doesn't forgive mistakes made under pressure. If this video changed the way you think about police encounters, hit subscribe. Share this with other responsible gun owners, because knowledge like this spreads safety, not fear. And remember, the law doesn't care about intentions. It cares about actions, words, and timing. These 5 words protect all 3. You are now armed, not with a firearm, but with the most important tool for legal survival.